They say kings rule over men. But once there was a king who ruled over the wind, the beasts, and even the birds. His kingdom stretched beyond sight. Rivers obeyed him, mountains bowed to his prayers. And among all the creatures beneath his command, there was one small bird whose flight would one day alter the fate of nations. I am that bird, the Hudhud. Not a warrior, not a hero, only a messenger with wings and faith. Yet the message I carried would travel farther than any army ever could. The kingdom of Sulayman was unlike any other. Peace filled the land, the kind of peace that breathes through trees and settles even the hearts of lions. He was not a king of pride or gold, but of wisdom. He spoke to the wind as one speaks to a friend. He understood the songs of birds and the whispers of the unseen. Every creature had its place. Ants built in safety, lions guarded the forests, and we birds. We were his eyes in the sky. To serve him was honor, for he ruled not by fear, but by faith. I remember the morning it began. The sun rose fierce and flawless. Sulayman had called his hosts together. Men, jinn, and birds. The earth itself trembled at their gathering. Then came silence. His gaze swept the ranks, calm, yet sharp as the desert wind. "Why do I not see Hudhud?" he said. "Or is he among the absent?" His voice carried no anger, only the weight of justice. If he has no reason, he shall face a severe punishment. And he was right. For in Sulayman's realm, even a bird was bound by truth. But that morning, I was already far beyond the horizon, not out of defiance, but out of wonder. I crossed mountains that pierced the clouds, and deserts so wide they swallowed sound. My wings ached, yet something unseen pulled me forward, a shimmer in the distance like a mirage calling my name. Beyond the burning sands, a city rose from gold and light. Towers gleamed beneath the sun, rivers coiled through marble streets, and voices lifted in praise, but not to the Creator. They bowed to the sun itself, hands raised not to Allah, but to the fire He created. And their ruler, a woman of beauty and grace, sat upon a throne that caught the very light they worshipped. They called her Bilqis, the Queen of Sheba. Yet behind her calm eyes, I saw a silence, a question she did not yet know how to ask. I perched upon her palace wall, watching. Her court glittered, jewels, silk, and counsel from every corner of her realm. Yet all that wealth could not fill the emptiness I felt in the air. I wanted to cry out, to tell her that the light she sought was nearer than her own breath. But I was only a bird. So I did what I was created to do. I carried the truth back to my king. I flew through storms and silence, my wings burning with exhaustion, but my heart alive with urgency. When I reached the Prophet's camp, I bowed before Sulayman and said, "I have come from a kingdom ruled by a woman. She has every gift, yet her people worship the sun instead of Allah." The Prophet King listened quietly. No anger, no pride, only thought. Then he said, "We shall see if what you say is true. Take this letter from me and deliver it to her. Then return." The letter I carried was not ink on parchment. It was light wrapped in words. It said, "In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate. Do not exalt yourself above truth. Come to me and submit to Allah, the Lord of the worlds." When I arrived at Sheba, the city was waking. Merchants shouting, soldiers changing their guard, and the people bowing again toward the sun. But the true light was about to rise. I flew through the open court, landing before the queen's chamber. She looked up, startled, yet calm. Perhaps she saw it in my eyes, that I carried no harm, only a message. I dropped the letter upon her lap. The room fell silent as she read. Her lips moved softly and her eyes trembled as she whispered, "This is no ordinary letter. This is a call from wisdom, not from pride. Her court erupted in voices, advisors, generals, and priests, all speaking at once. "This is a threat," one cried. "A trick to take your throne," shouted another, but the queen raised her hand, calm as moonlight. "No," she said softly, "this is not a call to war, it is a call to truth." She paused, then added, "I will not act in haste. I will send a gift and see what kind of man this Sulayman truly is." The decision was wise, but her heart still trembled, for somewhere within her, a spark of curiosity had already begun to burn. She wanted to know the one he spoke of, the Lord of all worlds. The queen's caravans stretched across the desert, camels heavy with gold, jewels, and silks brighter than dawn. From high above, I followed them, their footsteps carving a trail of light across the sand. But when they reached Sulayman, the prophet king did not even glance at the treasures. He smiled, not with mockery, but with mercy, and said, "Do they try to buy guidance with gold? What Allah has given me is far greater than what they offer. Return to them and tell them to come to me in peace, or face the truth of their pride." The messengers looked upon his court, a realm where even the wind obeyed, and they trembled. They had seen no palace like this, no ruler like him, one whose power bowed to faith. When the queen heard their words, she said nothing. The hall grew still. Even the servants dared not breathe. She turned away from her throne and walked to the balcony, the sun lowering behind her kingdom. For the first time, she felt how small her crown truly was. Gold could build walls, but not open the sky. That night she stood alone, staring at the stars, perhaps wondering who had made them and whether that same creator was calling her by name. The next morning she gathered her people and said, "I will go to him myself. If he is truly guided, I will know it. If he is false, his words will fade like dust." And so the Queen of Sheba began her journey, not of distance, but of faith. Days turned to weeks. The Queen's caravan crossed valleys and deserts, until the air itself seemed to hum with unseen power. At night she would gaze at the sky, perhaps counting the stars, perhaps asking who made them. The letter of Sulayman never left her hands. Each word echoed louder than the last. "Do not exalt yourself above truth." And though her soldiers guarded her, it was her own heart she was finally learning to face. When dawn broke over the final ridge, she saw it. The kingdom of Sulayman, bathed in gold light, silent yet alive. I flew ahead and perched upon a high tree. Below me, the prophet sat upon his throne, calm, humble, and radiant, as if the world itself waited for his breath. When the queen entered, the hall shimmered, its floor so clear she thought it was water. She lifted her robe, careful not to step into what seemed like a pool. Sulayman smiled gently and said, "It is not water, it is glass." In that small moment, the illusion broke. She saw the difference between what appears to be and what truly is. Her heart trembled, for truth had entered it like light through crystal. She bowed her head and said, "My lord, I have wronged myself. I now submit with Sulayman to Allah, the Lord of the worlds." And in that single breath, the light that once rose from her palace to the sun now rose toward heaven, where it had always belonged. I watched from above, my wings trembling with joy. A single letter, a single message, had turned an entire kingdom toward the truth. That day I learned obedience is not weakness. It is strength, guided by faith. Even the smallest creature can carry the message of a king. When peace returned to the land, the winds were calm once again. The people of Sheba prayed beside the people of Sulayman, no longer to the sun, but to the one who made it rise. From above, I watched two kingdoms breathe as one. The queen stood beside the prophet. No crown upon her head, only humility in her heart. And Sulayman smiled, for he knew this victory was not born of power, but of guidance, a light that had entered through obedience. The court was filled with gratitude that day. Men spoke softly, the jinn moved quietly, even the air seemed lighter, whispering his name. I perched upon a high branch, my wings folded, and I thought of how small I was, a single bird among millions. Yet Allah had written my flight into a story that would outlive empires. I thought of the morning Sulayman had searched for me when I had been missing, and how that mistake had become my mission. Sometimes what feels like failure is only the beginning of a greater purpose. Sometimes Allah hides wisdom behind delay. I did not see it then, but I see it now. Every feather, every breath, every flight, they were never mine. They belonged to the one who created the wind that carried me. And when I look down upon the world today, I still see people chasing the sun, forgetting the one who made it shine. So I keep flying through deserts and cities, through storms and silence, carrying one message for those who will listen. Obedience is not loss. Faith is not blindness. It is seeing what eyes cannot and trusting the path only the heart understands. And when the final day comes and all kings and queens stand before the true king, I will stand too. A small bird, wings folded, grateful that once upon a time I was chosen to speak to a king who listened.